very, very much to nothing else than Windigo versus NoChance. Well, and if you're asking yourself, well, what am I actually watching here? What is this all about? Well, I can tell you the following. This is about a slot to the European Minor. The European Minor, just a place before the Major. So far, two teams have been terminated. Nordavind and Magnitude. And the question we gotta ask ourselves, is it gonna be NoChance or Windigo? Who's gonna join that? Both will be fight very hard. Both will be fighting to the max to actually achieve something successful here. I mean, it's mandatory, as it would be a bit of a surprise if NoChance actually beat Windigo. I have to say it like that. It would be a bit of a surprise. Would have never expected to even them go that far. It's impressive. Unfortunately, they couldn't really close it out on Mirage. Lost the same way we saw it yesterday when they were playing against North. Now let's see. Bubble and Co. They're more likely pushing it over on A long. Crystal is staying up high and looks to find a frag that works in combination with Thomas. And overall, that's pain for Windigo. No real chance for the Windigo side of things. This Bubble could potentially bring it over in case he finds the frag onto the man Zen. Talking just about that. Yeah, there you go. Fully accurate in the head of Bubble. The Bulgarian falling down, and now I can tell you a bit more on the statistic side how it has been looking in the past for NoChance and, of course, Windigo. Anyways, yesterday we saw NoChance losing 9-16 on this map against North, whilst we were experiencing Windigo losing against Ancient 7-16, which also is a bit of a surprise. Both is a bit of a surprise to me. And otherwise, past results, I mean, the last victory of Windigo on this map was against Dream Eaters with 69, and also then a few days before against Trick 16-14. They have never really dominantly took home this map, but same goes for NoChance. So the funny story is, a good bunch of their losses have actually been like 14-16s. And that, of course, is extremely sad to watch. Yet again, it shows you that they're capable of finding successful stories. McAnlilly getting a quite good kill. I would be very surprised if things start to turn sour for NoChance. We have seen already in the previous map that, I mean, they can be dominant on one half and then suffer massively on the other. Maybe we're going to experience that once more, but before we even can go that far and make that assumption, we need to see how the spy round for Windigo goes. AK in the hands of Free. Bubble. It's the fourth one with that assault rifle. No frag, by the way, for Windigo so far. Nobody dealt enough damage, and this is of course quite beneficial for the CT economy. As we see, no upgrades coming in. Instant aggression though, coming in from McAnlilly. He and his boys are trying to hold that long control down as much as possible, and Windigo are just waiting in front of that gate. They're waiting that anybody might just go overly aggressive. We see the bomb for Bubble boosted, or likely positioned up on the cars, they put it that way. And Windigo is simply not allowed to enter long. They're just not allowed to enter long, and let's see. He's going to do a mistake. He saw one, retreats a little late, does a backflip with a nade hitting blocker brutally. Yet we have to experience how that long take works, because Windigo is going fast left lane to approach and take down all the defenders over there on the site. We're seeing Thomas with the AUG to possibly do a change. You see already, NoChance is not focusing themselves at all over there on B anymore. Instantly turn around, and that is at least a weaponry upgrade. Could work a little. Thomas, though, needs to find a frag immediately, and it's gonna be the Knight. And his weapon was the most important. Bomb hits the ground, and NoChance might suffer in round number 3. It would not be a surprise, as the weaponry was just not ideal. I mean, you have to say it that way, but they're still going to go for the retake. They're going to try very hard, and as they're trying, Bubble is down, Poison burns away. They know that he's on ramp, and the kid is on the back of Crystal. You could still see this happening, and as I say it, it's still Crystal falling down. Zen joins, and Michael Lely with 2 bullets left. He's going to stick through. He's gonna stick through. Blocker's looking to aim in the wrong direction, and then he does it in the end. For a second, I was scared that suddenly a 10-second defuse is successful for NoChance, but nah, not like this. And Blocker, with that fast approach, is going to be taken down indeed by his own teammate. Nope, but it was Victor dealing a good bit, additionally to what has been done by Sticko. And now NoChance is looking to advance. NoChance is most definitely looking to get a few more frags, though. Oh, Thomas with the ding on Bubble puts him on 5. I mean, the guy is bleeding out of every single hole and is highly wounded. In the meantime, a quick look on the minimap is going to tell his ships got the B site. Bubble's rotating. And Crystal seems to realize that. Crystal seems to be like 1,000,000% aware. He's going to take down the bomb. Did the team realize so it is the bomb? Must have been the case. Now Poison is taken out over and long. A single Galil needs to swap the story off this round. And very honestly, with 35 seconds at the Galil, debatable. So he tries, taps away one man, but realization, this is not going to work. And with that realization, this is the round over. 3-1, and suddenly it was the read, right? We realized very early the read that really changed things up was the only matter of fact that helped them to advance to get this round. Because I would have honestly thought, like, there's legitimately no chance that NoChance is going to take that. Funny wordplay, very unintended. So you see, with that unfortunate situation coming in, they have realized a bit of a safe. A timeout is more reasonable. Discussing what's going to happen next. As we're still having a little bit of a technical timeout. They're randomly dropping pistols to each other? No, for a second I thought it was just a big exchange of Glocks for a second. I'm asking myself, who in God's name ever bought a pistol and then bought for $200 the actual original pistol? Like, you might know you can buy the pistol, the USPS for Glock for $200 in case you missed it. I don't know anyone who would do that. Like, you must be a very interesting one to do something like that. I've never seen that, and it just popped in my mind randomly. In the meantime, Windigo, after a phenomenal performance from the man Ships over there on Mirage, they hope to rely on that yet again. Remember, the first half was not looking good for Windigo either. Then it comes Crystal with a quite easy time. Next one coming through is Ships, still takes him down. And this is not looking good, actually, in that sense that we have another man down over there. But yet again, all enough. With Bubble and the AK, things are looking sunny. Bomb needs to be planted anytime soon, and then he needs one hell of an after-plant situation in his favor. Not working for him would be an unrealistic approach, but you should never say never. Those Bulgarians, they're furious players, and the furious play from Bubble is what we're looking for. Talking about the double, he gets it. And Michael chimes in just beforehand. That defuse. It's getting NoChance in number 4. Yet again, though, the problem that occurs, the issue that's right now here, is that they couldn't really build up a proper economy so far. I mean, especially take a look at it right here. Five players, twice surviving, great. All dead, and 1-1. So they can't accumulate big bucks, and this is where you see Zen and Thomas back on the MP9s. So as Windigo have lost their first, their investment might not pay off too much. This is a weird sort of buy anyway. Windigo somewhere in the desperate zone. With the auto director not showing it, and again we're going to show what's happening over in the B tunnels. Nades popping deep, and that aggression might be already denied. One spray down once they approach, and all might be looking more sunny. But I'm not quite sure if Windigo is actually calling the safe. I would understand if they would do so, but a 5v3, it still seems like they somewhat dedicate for lower tunnels. Though you can't really say like they have too much time left. So somewhat of a now or never situation. And Michael, he gotta be one to make this now or never look a little bit more shiny for NoChance. It does work for him brilliantly. Both run in. The pressure is something Windigo can't really work with that in round number 6. If we're going to go back on the Eagles, Thomas should just have a few frags to pick from. As I say, blocker very successful as he eats up the grenade with his teammate. Damage is looking very uncomfortable, and so MP9 sprays, or more likely bursts, coming in from the man Zen, as we know that quite brilliantly from him. The players approaching all over the A side, short and long it is. Michael a bit under pressure maybe from his positioning, but he got his teammate watching over him. And 6-1, for NoChance. It's more than ideal. It's more than consummate. And you gotta say, Dust2, a map for Windigo that is a bit more T-sided. A bit more, to say it like that. Not a major difference, but a good difference. A decent difference. And especially when we take a look at Dust2 in the last 3 months, it has proven to be quite balanced. The only map... No, actually, it is the most balanced map. For a second, I want to say Inferno, as it used to be 50-50 at one state. Oh, that was not a 50-50 duel. All goes in favor of Poison. They might expect Sticko, have it not make a lily. And this is what I just went, right? Mid control obtained. Tunnels could be the next step for Crystal. Doesn't do that. And they must know that Sticko is back there on short, right? They must know. As they might be not so aware, the problem that now occurs is a player back on site. Brilliantly done, though. And Ships falls down. Victor is reloading his AK for his final try to take round number 8. Low HP player found. Thomas eliminated. He could have spotted the bomb. I'm not so sure about it, but should be pretty much the case. And if Sticko does no major mistake by now, gonna have a rotator coming from behind. Crystal. It's not gonna peek yet. This is where you would expect them to maybe do it somewhat together. As though behind the car. There's no cover for the Bulgarian. 0. Ships, how in Gotham is he able to strike? I mean, looked like Thomas had an easy one for himself. Sticko's peak might just deny any further access from Windigo, number 1. And number 2, possibly, to some degree. Now he's under pressure. He can't withstand the pressure for quite long. Crystal flashbangs is brilliant, and the triple belongs to Mr. Ament. As the Arc is then once more reigning supreme. Slowly and steady they move over short. I mean, the Deagle AK mixture could be held up in just a second with a very interesting flashbang, which didn't seem to be 100% intended yet again. Approach on A it is. Nobody actively holding the sides, and both on ramp. That's uncomfortable and far away from perfect. So Crystal holds the long section. Nobody's coming in. Holds it for very long, actually. That's even unironically. And so short is isolated. This is nice to see. If they now start to find the frags on site, that would be brilliant. Talking about that, Zen absolutely annihilated. And both players on ramp seem to be a bit of an issue. Nobody actively defending the side, sure, makes sense. Sticko couldn't do too much on shorts, and the bomb not planted for Crystal. He wants to do some damage control, as he doesn't worry too much about his own money. Windigo on the second, finally. There was even good money coming in for them. Well, also CTs, they suffer. Majorly, they suffer. But the force, here it comes. Crystal being a good guy and dropping even another AWP. That's where the IGL bites the bullets, for a good reason. Windigo with focusing more a bit on long and tunnels. We have only seen Patience coming in. As he's waiting out, that's all you pretty much need. Suddenly, the CT's yet again able to prevail. He tags him down and brings the bomb to the ground and looked intimidated and somewhat interested in getting that a little further. And with Thomas sneaking in from behind, the bomb in tunnels is in safety for NoChance, and safety seems to be the important term for them. Windigo just not having their Cinderella story right now, let's put it that way. That B split could be it. Is it gonna be it though is the question. Blocker tack down to 27. That frag from Thomas is something, and so you see the split fairly denied. Zen knows and is gonna be killed though in the end. For a second you thought he's gonna bring this one home safely. As I say this, things start to look a little sinister, don't they? Chip's desperately looking for a frag. Waits up there. Reloads. He was just alert. For a second he was alert to move through. Crystal holds that angle, but now leaves his teammate alone. After he was stinged, he finds the frag. That is what was needed. NoChance on number 10, unbelievably. And his losing bonus is the max for Windigo. I mean, they can always get the best out of it, but don't really believe it. Don't really believe that Windigo is bouncing back too much. It gives me some of this nuke vibe we had. Crystal. Let's take a little peek along around middle. Windigo just seems to not have the best repertoire when it comes down to some astute and sophisticated executes. Missing out on that a little. They were, in most cases, very slow with their playstyle, which is somewhat enjoyable. Yet again, if there's one attribute I would give Windigo, it would be coordinated chaos, if that makes sense. So they wait out. Patient they are. The headshot should not come in. They don't want the headshot to come in. And they're all approaching over on short. Finally, it is there! And Poison with two absolutely absurd frags. Ships is coming in when needed, and so the support for Windigo, only with the Deagles. Now the upgrades are there. The nade is brilliant! And the pressure is so high, the flashbang just comes in, and so everything starts to look a little darker. Crystal gotta do it on his own, and he does that! Pure chaos descends on the A sides, but there's one hero, and there's especially one ruler over the chaos. That is Crystal. Sure, Windigo is once more in a good state economically, but... it's not the way you want to see it, is it? As Windigo desperately look for a few more rounds. The run boost coming in. Blocker is just ready to be launched. Bulgarian Space X. Not going to be seen by Sticko, or is it? Doesn't seem to be the case. But mid is a bit of a problem right now, but doesn't matter. Focus on shorts. That's the only thing that Windigo sets themselves up. Looked like they would send them the two players in anytime soon. They'd rather not. Just waiting this out, desperate. I mean, they're really waiting this out. 30-second mark yet again. Oh, poor Sticko. Can rotate away and waits back on ramp. The problem, though, occurs. Long players are there. He nearly dodges it, but nearly is the right term. So safe, especially with the money we see on NoChance, is the most logical step, and the most logical step they're going to take.
Bomb has been planted.
And this is leaving Zen all alone with one AWP. Is able to strike, but otherwise... shouldn't really work for him, should it? As I say that. Oh no. This is what you get for no-scoping. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. And so very obviously, the final round of half number 1 is coming in. NoChance with 11-3 are already in a brilliant state. That's this mixed by of NoChances. First of all, resulting in the Mechalele dead. Mid supporter coming in to work it from ramp. Flashbang stare and poison. You have the awareness. This is chaos. This is brutal chaos, and only Thomas there to strike. Only Thomas there to take out. The last 2 rounds make the half of Windigo funny-wise. Either way. See if Windigo immediately strikes. NoChance aggressive stance could be just the thing we're looking for right here. bubble in the mid, just desperately looking for a frag. None of those shots really connect, so Victor gotta do it. Flashbang is in. First player there. Second is not to be taken out, but there you see it. Man advantage. And then looking for it desperately. Knows about the CT guy and takes a safe approach around. Could also just go back in tunnels if he feels like it, but he wants to find that frag desperately. One more bullet, and one more bullet is enough. Four rounds away. Windigo is investing. And that's the pivotal part. If this one works right now for NoChance, this basically puts them in a spot where your opponent is ecoing, as I say it, hard times, but oh, his teammate could do it. Crystal, if he moves out and helps according to plan, that would be brilliant. They're not so sure. I mean, I'm not quite sure if it's communicated or not. I was a little confused that they were actually smoking off pit again, as they found the pit frag, and nobody should have been faster on paper. With kills like this, Windigo was definitely not on the right track. And in the A side, only defended by one man. That is Poison. Tagged to 23 already. Could be a lot better for him, really. It could be a good bit lot better for him. With an 8 even landed that way. Oh, you hate to see that, don't you? You hate to see that. Windigo. The Purple Owls. They're about to fail to qualify for this minor. It's 3 more for NoChance to advance, and it's 3 more for Windigo to fail entirely. And by that, I unfortunately mean to fail entirely. And as they force through yet again, chances are there, don't get me wrong. I got my doubts. As I'm talking about it. Windigo. The last European minor, they made it through. 5th to 6th place they achieved. Out of some unfortunate situation for them where they lost then in the end in Group B with North, Ents, and ex-Space Soldiers in it. And this is the next chance. They're only, to say it like that, in a close qualifier. That's the thing, right? We're not even talking about them coming to the minor. We're talking about them struggling to make it work in the minor. Towards the minor. And Windigo, a team after WSG China, many thought to be this prodigy from Bulgaria. And Poison, most definitely a prodigy. He's falling down though. And I think Windigo at this point, they'll force. They force and force and force and force. I mean, this one, they can get a proper buy. Blocker is the only one who's suffering. With ships having a mid-control, frags are happening. Windigo are now here with a 2-man advantage. And maybe not shut down in this one. It would be awesome to see for the Bulgarians as their fight back is appreciated. Yet again, 2 more for NoChance. And this most likely won't be it. Reserve money they have, so they can rely on that in case they're gonna fail here, which they most likely should, very honestly. This bubble is up there. Oh, he now drops down. And back in window. Ekalele has no realization of what's happening. Windigo in with number 5. In it with surviving with every single individual. And in it with quiet, decent success. And Crystal most definitely don't want to give this away right now. Most definitely he doesn't want to give this away. His team is so close to victory. And over on short, we already see a Finn moving. And that's a quick rotation. Windigo with a quite good realization. If they really want to run to the Lion's cage, it could be just ending quite badly. They know about a ramp player, same about Carr. And this is oh so brilliant from Crystal. This is so brilliant as he makes it work with the Galil, surprisingly. Not the most accurate weapon you could say. Doesn't matter too much though. And Victor is the only man who's going to be brought through. We're gonna go put everything into this. Double up, double AUK, and MP9. This is their last chance to deny NoChance advancing, and the most important probably about this, it's not about NoChance, it's about Windigo who want to deny themselves to fall short in the early stage of this tournament, of this qualifier. It's not even a tournament, to put it that way. And NoChance, honestly, they'd be surprising me if they pick this 1-2-1. And I'll say it all the time, and I'll say it every time. NoChance is not the favorite in this. They have made some good results, don't get me wrong, but they're just not the favorites in this. Bubble makes a lot of noise. And as he's going out, he's eliminated. This side of B belongs to them. And Poison and Blocker, they can't allow themselves mistakes. Mekalele is already on the triple, and he might be the hero for round number 21. And Blocker, this is a play by the book. The Bulgarian gods need to send him all the energy to now let him prevail, as 3 players are defending over on the B side, and they lock down the gates. They give him no further access. They give him no opportunity for trespassing. He got no kits. He got no chance. And he got all the hope in his heart, but realistically speaking, this is it. 16-5, NoChance bringing through, and they advance on to another lower bracket